Welcome to Batman No Man's Land right here at Comicstorian. I'm Benny, your narrator, and I bring you your favorite comic books, video games, and movies on a regular basis, trying to pretend that I know what I'm doing and people seem to enjoy it. Batman No Man's Land is a storyline that came out in the late 90s, which was basically about Gotham being cut off from the rest of the United States. There was no aid coming in, there was nobody trying to help it, and the villains took over, turning it into a area filled with gangs. Each gang had its own turf within Batman No Man's Land. After disappearing for a while, Batman returned and took over his own territory and is now battling against all the different gangs, bringing us a bunch of these short stories as Batman attempts to retake Gotham. Today we're going to bring you the storyline, Fruit of the Earth. As Nightwing recovers from his mission to Blackgate, Barbara works away at her computer stating that it would seem the Penguin is somehow involved in an agreement with Ivy for fruit. They could ask Penguin why, but Batman tells her, no. Anything else? Barbara says, well, then one of her agents reported about the kids being seen in Ivy's park. Could be playing, could be staying there, no one knows for sure. Batman thinks about it and says that, I'll look at it with Robin later, but first. A short while later, at Penguin's suit, one of his many women redresses the bandage on his leg when there's a sudden crash. One of Penguin's guards run in shouting, Batman's here! And Penguin says, yes, I can hear that. Let him in already. The guard says, very good, but then he's knocked down as Batman kicks his way through the door. Penguin sighs, great, just the person I didn't want to see. Batman picks up a fruit, telling him, this is a Royal Acree pear, considered the finest in the world. Penguin tells him, you know me, only the best. And Batman tells him, it's out of season, unique to Eastern Europe, with the exception of a single Acree tree in Robinson Park. Batman then picks up Penguin by the robe, telling him, I've heard she's using kids. As Batman releases, Penguin tells him, not to my knowledge. Clayface arranged the whole thing. Ivy grows the fruits. Clayface distributes. That's all I know. Batman then asks, what's in it for Clayface? And Penguin tells him, money. An account in Grand Cayman has been growing for the last several months. Later that night, outside of Robinson Park, Robin asks, why are we here? And Batman tells him, for Gotham's insurance. The two quietly sneak in, and as they go, branches and vines begin to shift, showing them a path. When they come to an opening of statues, Batman lights a small stick of dynamite and places it into the mouth of one of those statues. When it goes off, there's a clicking sound, and the statue begins to move back. Robin follows Batman as he jumps down and asks, did you know this was here? And Batman turns the lights on, telling him, I was the one who built it. While I was gone and Dick took over, I had caves constructed all across the city. As Batman opens up the door, he sees Ivy encased in clay with shackles on a group of children. She looks up, stating that she knew that he would come. She just hopes that he's not too late. Robin hurries down to help free the children, and Batman tells Ivy to explain, fast! Ivy says that these children were abandoned on Black Monday. She cared for them. Batman grits his teeth, asking, what happened? Why are you using children for your work? And Ivy tells him, Clayface. He captured the kids and he put them here and told her to grow whatever he says and make the children harvest the crops. He keeps her weak, not enough sun, barely enough water, and he feeds her salt. Does he have any idea what salt does to a plant? As Batman looks at the ground, Ivy goes on, telling him, I found this place before Clayface arrived. His place, an honest-to-goodness Batcave, complete with all sorts of neat things. Computers, equipment, plastic, poisonous little boy toys, and then this. She holds out a small sealed box, telling him, this, though, she couldn't get into. What's inside? Batman tells her, enough. What do you want it for? Ivy covers the box of vines, telling him to free them, help her destroy Clayface, leave this park, save the children, and she'll never return. After that, he can have whatever this box contains, and she promises. Batman looks at the children, telling her, I can't leave them with you. And Ivy asks, why not? Who else is going to take care of them? You? You're running out of time. I can feel every footstep on the grass above. Clayface will be back by dawn. Batman pauses to think, and he tells Robin, get the kids to safety. And Robin asks, what are you going to do? So Batman tells him, I'm going to get some mud on my boots. Once everyone leaves, Ivy tells him that they're alone at last, and Batman begins to hit the clay, trying to break it free, and Ivy says that the kids have already tried that. So after a few more hits, Batman stops and says, I fought Clayface just after the earthquake. He's too powerful for me to take on alone. But I have a plan. You'll have to help me and do exactly as I say, so tell me, what do you need to be strong again? Ivy asks, what does any plant need? Once the kids are out of the park and safe, Robin gets a message from Batman telling him, I have a job for you. And so when the sun comes out, Robin goes into one of the many statues and presses a hidden button under the display. A panel shifts open and Robin reaches in, taking out the contents, stating, this is some heavy-duty explosives. A short while later, Clayface returned, and when he doesn't see the children, he asks, what's going on? Where's my little slave labor force? Ivy doesn't answer, and Clayface grabs her by the face, telling her, if you don't answer me, I will salt your earth until you scream. Batman shouts at him, telling him, get your hands off her! And Clayface turns back, telling him, I was hoping the bat would stop by. Like what I've done with the place. Batman swings the pipe, telling him, not really. But Clayface extends one of his arms, grabbing Batman by the leg, with Ivy screaming to let him go. Clayface laughs, shouting, aw, sounds like she likes you. Hang on a sec, we're gonna build up a charge so that I can. Batman slams the pipe into Clayface's back, releasing the charge that he was building, telling him, you talk too much. As Clayface lets go, Batman radios to Robin, telling him to hit it, and a second later, explosions go off above ground, flooding the cave with water and sunlight. As Batman and Clayface rise out of the flooding waters, Ivy stands there telling everyone, all right, boys, let's finish this. Clayface bursts out laughing. Finish it? Baby, we're just getting started. Ivy tells him that it's been 6 months. 6 months since he trapped her, abused her, tortured her, defiled her, polluted her. Enslaved the children that she swore to protect. Enslaved her, abused the Green. And now you're going to pay, Clayface. Batman slams down a small cartridge of nitrogen, freezing Clayface's hand, and as it breaks off, Ivy calls down a vine from the top. Batman jumps onto it while grabbing onto Ivy and flings the both of them outside while telling Robin to throw in a second charge. Robin tosses in a small package as Clayface shouts, I will kill you all! But before he can finish, the charge goes off with a loud faroom. Clayface starts to pull himself out of the ground, yelling, you can't blow me up! You're not going to stop me! He gets ready to lunge, but as he does, he feels something pulling at him. A nearby tree grabs onto him, and soon Clayface begins to scream out in pain. Roots begin to grow out of his body, and Ivy asks if he can feel it. You're very good soil full of nutrients and minerals. You're creating life. You're feeding all those plants growing inside of you right now, and we're going to use you just like you tried to do with me and the children. As the Green slowly covers his body, Batman shouts, that's enough! I won't let you kill him! And then the vines reach out, holding Batman back, and Ivy tells him, you weren't the one trapped by that monster for 6 months! Keep out of this, Bats! Batman struggles to free himself, but Ivy walks over to Clayface, leaning down, asking, how would you like a kiss? Clayface tells her, please, don't! And Ivy says that she remembers asking the same of him. She leans in and kisses him, and as she pulls back, Clayface smiles and crumbles away. The vines loosen their grip on Batman, and Ivy asks, do you know what day it is? It's the first day of summer. A few moments later, Ivy returns to the box that Batman came for, stating that she hopes that he's not too disappointed. He opens it up, and after looking inside, he dumps a bunch of damaged discs, stating that she destroyed them. Ivy says of course she did. She found the box before Clayface arrived, and she knew that it was his. And they were plastic. Petroleum byproducts are poisoning to plants. Besides, she's pretty sure that he has backup files somewhere. Batman thinks for a moment and then says, here's the deal. You keep the park, keep the order. Don't let anyone, Two-Face, Penguin, Freeze, any of them take the park. You care for the children. Tuesdays and Fridays, you'll release produce to the city. Leave it at the south gate. Grow only what we'll need. Do these things and I will leave you alone. So later that night, back at the clock tower, Barbara looks at the computer stating that they only have one option here. They need to contact her. The whole plan with Poison Ivy didn't work since he destroyed Batman's backups. And Batman groans. It's not that simple. We're going to have to trick her into doing what we need. Over in Manhattan, the phone of Catwoman rings and she picks it up with a voice telling her that it's Rizzo. Catwoman tells Rizzo that she said never call her, but Rizzo says that she told him only to call her if he sees something interesting on display. While there's a cat-headed gem that makes the Hope Diamond look like a hunk of charcoal. After her mission, the next day at Robinson Central Station, Catwoman walks through the ruined building stating, hello? Batman, I got your message. Came a long way. Batman jumps out of the shadows telling her that he is in need of a thief. That there are some computer disks that contain vital data for restoring Gotham. Catwoman asks, why not get them yourself? And Batman tells her, they're in Manhattan. She stops and laughs and then lunges at Batman, shouting that she just got here from Manhattan and he wants her to go back. She's gonna kill him for that. Batman dodges, stating that he couldn't risk anyone else learning about the discs. He's sorry for tricking her about the gem, but he needed to know that she could get into Gotham. She cracks her whip, asking, "Why should I do anything for you?" And he holds out his arm, taking the lash, and then pulls Catwoman close, stating, "I need you." And he kisses her. She blushes for a moment and asks, "What else?" There you have it, more Batman No Man's Land. Now, like I said, and a lot of you didn't believe me, this was going to become our Sunday series since Smallville is officially gone. So if you want to see more Batman No Man's Land, you need to subscribe to the channel and make sure you press that like button, smashing it as hard as you can so that you too can be a part of Batman No Man's Land. Wait, okay, how about this? Smash that like button if you don't want to be in Batman No Man's Land, because I really doubt anybody wants to live in this dystopian world that exists inside of an existing world. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for your help. And don't forget, videos like this are brought to you by our Patreons. Our Patreons are what keep us going, because YouTube is definitely not a reliable source of income, and we'd love to have more of you guys coming over there, getting our unedited podcast and early access to our videos. Thank you so much for your support, and I'll see you next time right here at Comicstorian.